Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle it without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let the top of shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the right to end. Yeah, right. To the nice end, yeah. To the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Saying Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe doing, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe doing, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Tycho, McDilly, The Wanderer, Snoop Lewk is arriving. He had a long day at work. He will be here shortly.
Super long day for Luke.
But boys, how are we doing?
I'm doing better than Luke.
That's very
I had a long day too, but I am doing better than Luke.
I'm tired.
So I'm not here to complain.
I agree.
Jesse didn't do
a damn
thing today.
I haven't done enough. I'm tired.
You're tired because you haven't done enough?
I haven't done enough.
You never had one of those days where you just don't do anything and you get tired from doing nothing? You're just tired all day?
I normally wouldn't do anything from the jump if I'm just tired all day. But it wouldn't make me tired by not doing anything. I would just be tired from the jump.
You're just consistently tired from doing nothing. You don't get it. You're not comprehending it.
I'm just saying,
You can't relate.
As you're not doing things, that doesn't make you more tired. I feel like you just consistently still be tired.
Dylan, you don't relate.
From start to end.
It's okay.
And that would make you do nothing.
That's fine. You don't need to relate.
That's just what I think would happen.
I can literally lay on the couch and watch TV. All I'll do is watch TV. All I'll do is watch my show. And it will make me tired. Just laying there watching a show.
At any time?
Anytime.
Anytime of the day.
When I go on break at work, I fuck up and I watch an episode of my show and I'm like, Jesus, no, I don't feel like going back in.
Get too tired.
It takes like 23 minutes for me to get tired. That's it.
See, that might have to just be something you look into because
if you're like having
a thing where you're at work,
and then 23 minutes later and after a show you have no energy, that is concerning. If you're already kind of tired, that's different.
It sounds like the show is taking almost too much of your energy.
In 23 minutes, it wipes him.
Listen, that's what anime and subtitles will do to you.
I was gonna say, what show are you watching? You gotta tell everyone so that they know to stay away. Unless they're really drained.
Stay away. It's not draining energy. I'm always tired. I don't sleep.
Well, what's the show?
The Death Note quality show.
Quality show. How long are the episodes?
23 minutes.
That sounds about right. So you'll be able to watch an episode tonight. How many seasons? Do you know?
One season, 37 episodes.
All right, so that's 37 nights in a row. Look on Jesse's time. Yeah, man, it's only a little over a month.
Oh, no, I got no, too short.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it's only one episode and then you're falling asleep, it doesn't sound like you're watching more than one.
Well, I'll already be tired.
Sounds like it's too long.
When I'm in the kitchen and I'm getting my ass beat from like 11 to 4, and then I finally get a break at 4, and I'm like, damn, today already feels long, and it's only been like 5 hours. And then I watch the show. Then it's problematic.
All right, so I'm glad that we got that out of the way. What's going on, Luke? So
I hate today. Today ain't it.
I hate today.
Luke, man, why so long
Well,
at work?
I'm just going to sum this up short. Our boss told this lady we were doing this install for that it would be done in 5 hours. It would be done in 5 hours. Yeah, I got to the shop at 8. Then get back to the shop till what, 7?
Yeah, that's when you said you were back. So 5 hours turned into almost 9 hours.
Yeah, and now I got a
11 hours.
And now I got a 7:30 start time tomorrow too.
Jesus.
So I get less than 12 hours before I have to be back there.
You better go to bed after this, boy.
Luke is
gonna
hanging
hang
out my
myself.
But anyway, for those of you who have forgotten, we are a sports podcast. I know the first 7 minutes, this is your first time watching. You're probably not thinking it. We do cover sports.
We do. Indeed, we do. And we're going to start it off with the MLB update with McDilly to start off the show. So let's start it off with Dylan and a former Tigers pitcher, currently on one of my least favorite teams in baseball, Justin Verlander. What do we got?
Yes, sir. So we are starting off with Justin Verlander, and big reason I want to bring him up is because he is one of those Tommy John guys. He is one of the main guys I said that once he came back from Tommy John, he'd be on robot shit. What's JV been on since he came back? Looks to me like he's been on robot shit. He's currently second in the league of opponent batting average with only 161. Strikeouts per Strikeouts per base on balls ratio, he's third in the league. And then when it comes to ERA, he's sixth in the league with 1.73. So Justin Verlander is on a roll right now, and I'm bringing him up because, came back from Tommy John. He is on a roll right now, and at the end of this year, at the end of this year, I think Justin Verlander is going to be put in a position where this could be his final good year in terms of what I'm thinking. So I hope Justin Verlander continues to ball out all year. But the next piece of news that I have is a very shocking one to me. And this is Robinson Cano was cut by the Mets. Now, we know that Robinson Cano has had a little bit of PED problems. And we know that it's come to bite him in the ass over the course of him not playing at all last season. And he finally came back this year. He hasn't been hitting too well. But Robinson Cano is the closest man next to 3,000. And he is, been in the league for many, many years. And we would call a veteran of the game and would be Hall of Famer if it wasn't for the PEDs. He was cut. But what's surprising about this is the Mets are still going to have to owe this man $40 million over the next 2 seasons. So they cut him, but they almost put themselves in a mini Chris Davis situation where he's gone, but that money is still going to end up biting you in the ass a little bit. Next, because I want to point this out because this is a cool moment.
Time out.
Whoa.
Time out. I feel like we need to take a moment on the Robinson Cano thing here.
Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Robinson Cano is just gonna not play baseball anymore and still get the $40 million. They're just like, yeah, we just don't want you anymore. You're not good.
Let someone
That's
sign.
crazy to me. That's insane. Robinson Cano.
It might as
Legendary
well.
second baseman.
Then let me ask you this, Tyler and Jesse. Do you think he'll get signed, or do you think this will be it because of his past?
I mean, I think he should hang it up, but I hate to see Robinson Cano go out like this.
Yeah, it's a sour note to go on for sure.
It's a shame, but they're not. Someone's probably not gonna pick him up
him continue to play baseball.
unless it's like the Dodgers or the Mets. No, because the Mets got rid of him. My bad. I'm gonna say Yankees. Some weird ass team would pick him up that already has a stacked roster. Just to have
If Cano went back to the Yankees, I would say I could see that happening.
What was your comment, Luke?
Why would he want to play baseball again when he can sit on his ass and just make free money?
Or he could literally do it.
love of the game. What you talking about?
wait,
They make
wait.
more
I don't
money.
care.
Hold
There
on,
ain't.
hold on.
I'm sorry, bro. If you're getting paid that much money just to sit on your ass to do nothing,
He could do what
Got a
Yasiel
point.
Puig did, and that's
go, if
what
you want
he
to go
was
play
gonna-
baseball, go join beer leagues. Go crank some fucking
Hey,
shit.
Luke, just like what you're saying, Puig
Here's
was in the
beer
same
league baseball.
situation where he was paid for the next year. So then he left the league early when they went for the COVID thing, right? The next year, he didn't play in the MLB, got the money for the contract that he was still owed, and then just played in the Mexican League. So he still played baseball, had a smaller contract, was living back at home with his family and shit where he wanted to live.
So he had two
was getting that
contracts.
MLB money. So Cano, he could move back home and just do that shit and still get his money. He could do it.
Is Puig in the MLB right now?
If
No.
he can do that,
Puig's
then
still
for
in the other
sure.
Mexican League, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
when the fuck's he coming back?
I don't know. I thought it was just out for COVID, but this motherfucker.
Like, is he coming back?
I hope so. I miss Puig.
I was wondering where he went. Yeah.
That's where he's been. Remember he was in a brawl last year? I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
But
Okay.
anyways.
I thought he was coming back. Well, I mean, I wanted to, but anyways.
We'll see. But the next piece of news is Bobby Witt Jr., the number one rookie. He was the last out of the top three projected, people coming into here, that being Rodriguez, Torkelson, and Witt to hit a home run. But what's funny about this, and the reason why I'm even talking about it, is because he hit the home run, first career homer. It rolls back down into the field. Harrison Bader, center fielder for the Cardinals, runs over to the ball, not knowing it's his first home run or anything, and he throws it back into the stands. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so, a fan just caught it, or luckily there's people all around in the stands, so they gave it back. Wrong. They're at Kauffman Stadium. So he chucks it in a goddamn fountain. So now all the fans are like, no, we got to get the ball. And then they had a whole hunt to get the ball back so that Witt, after the game, could then receive the ball. But it was just, I thought it was a whole funny moment that we talk about because the odds of that happening were just hilarious. Unless Bader did know it and he didn't want him to get the ball back, then to me, that's even funnier.
So you're telling me this man literally threw the ball into a fountain?
And you know how Kauffman, the Royal Stadium, they have the fountains?
Yeah.
He threw it into the crowd, chucked it, and then he threw it right into the fountains.
So he didn't throw it in the crowd. He threw it into the fountain.
Threw it into the crowd.
People aren't sitting in the fountain.
No. Threw it over the crowd. Jesse, you're muted.
He tried throwing it into the crowd and then threw it into the fountain.
Aiming for the crowd, hit the fountain.
And he's a pro. Oh,
It's Bader.
He's
you
a
gotta
gold
be
glover.
better. Come on, man.
Bader. He's got an arm. He just can't control it.
At least when Brady's touchdown passes get thrown into the stands, like they don't go into a fountain,
Very true.
At least someone catches it.
I agree 100%.
But congrats to Bobby Witt. Finally hit a dinger. Spencer Torkelson's already hit 3.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out real quick. Another thing I wanted to point out is Kyle Schwarber, ever since he's been on the Phillies, he has been the new, dare I say, Javi Baez. This man is still hitting below 200, but you wouldn't believe it because he's got 7 home runs, and I feel like every day we see him hitting a home run, yet somehow his batting average still isn't over 200. He is the new strikeout or homer. And it's tough to see him in that position, being that he was a leadoff hitter at one point and is now in the 5 spot. But we got to talk about this. So he was off in the series against the Mets, and he essentially carried them over this series and carried them over an elite pitcher, Max Scherzer, when he hit 2 home runs. Now, the second home run is the main one I want to talk about here because it was more impressive. Now, imagine this. A man, Kyle Schwarber, hit a home run off of Max Scherzer, go-ahead homer, but it ended up having them win the game, and he did it on one knee. Yes, he pulled it to where his leg was up and he hit the ball on one knee and lifted it off. That's unbelievable to do in itself, but to do it in a clutch situation against a pitcher of Scherzer's caliber, I think that's just unreal. I agree 100%. And then last thing I wanted to point out real quick is Astros skipper Dusty Baker. He is honestly the only thing I like on that Astros team besides Kyle Tucker. And I'm very happy for him because he is the first black manager and the 12th all-time to reach 2,000 wins. MLB managers come and go. You got to think about it. There's 30 teams. How long there's been managers. How long the MLB has been a thing. Only 12 all-time. That's a pretty big deal for Dusty. So shout out to him, man. He's just in the World Series last year. And, you know, the Astros still might be hated, but I think the baseball community still loves Dusty.
All right, with that being said, next up, we got UFC news with Snoop Lewk.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
And me. All right, Luke. Big
All right.
weekend.
Yeah, we're going to start it off with some UFC news. Because you remember Arlovsky? Remember his fight last weekend?
Of course, I remember
Yeah,
that.
you know how he won? Decision?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dub ties him with the most wins in the UFC.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not
He
know
now
that.
joins Jim Miller and Donald Cerrone. And Donald Cerrone actually fights this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And I did not know that. How long do you know has Dan been in the UFC?
You said Dan?
Or, I mean, Arlovsky.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but he's been there for a long time.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Like, you don't get 23 wins in a short period amount of time.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot to get 23 wins. So, shout out to him, man. I really didn't know that. Wow.
Next up, after Marlon Vera won his bout.
Oh, hell yeah. And that fight was amazing.
Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit. But he calls out fucking Dominic Cruz. He says, before in the 10 times declined to fight me, I'm not calling you a pussy, but he declined a couple times in the past. He was always talking about wanting to fight somebody ranked above him. Guess what? I'm above you right now, motherfucker. If you want it, come get it. So the ball's in your court, Dominic Cruz.
It's a fight. But I'd love to see for sure.
And give me Vera in that one. Yikes.
Oh, of course. I'm going to take him again. After that fight I just saw, bro, I'm even harder on Vera now.
Hey, man, I've been telling you about him. But next up, we got another update on the Masvidal Covington situation because
Oh, my God.
Jorge pleads not guilty.
What?
And that's why he's issued. There's going to be another. There's going to be another court. I'm pretty sure, but right now that's why he was ordered to stay at least 25 feet away from him and 200 from his residence.
So let me ask you this. So if this stays, there's no way there could be a rematch of them fighting because of the.
Dana might not want to risk it with all of the shit that's happened, but like Dana also might want to capitalize on that to get hella views because that would bring a lot of views.
It would bring a lot of views. I agree 100%. I would want to see it again. That's why I asked. Because it's more personal now than ever. And what's crazy is I feel like we said that last time, but it's somehow gotten more personal now. Now there's a court lawsuit in it. Now it's Jesus, man.
It's like.
It's not like they'll fight again.
I feel like they have to fight again.
You know what I mean? I think that's how it is too.
I feel like they have to.
I won't get my hopes up.
This is setting itself up to be a must-watch fight.
1,000%.
So I think this is something Dana needs to consider. No matter what goes down in court or whatever outside of the UFC, he needs to arrange this and
As long
have
as
it
they
happen.
still fight, they should fight. You're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, moving on to the next news. You know how we had Francis Ngannou and the whole fucking Tyson Fury shit?
Yes.
Well, Dana had some words on the whole thing.
Oh, what'd he say?
One, he said, boxing is a massive advantage for Tyson Fury. Ngannou just wrestled Cyril Gane. I almost did it.
I'm proud of you.
If you know anything about fighting, it's a silly conversation. So Dana thinks Ngannou would get smoked in boxing by Fury.
I understand why you think that, being at the last fight that he had. Okay, well, let's think about it like this. When Ngannou is put in a position where he has to strike, and let's say he's healthy, okay? No injuries, and he has to just throw the 1-2. Obviously, Fury has the advantage, but I don't think it's as mismatched as you may think, because even though he isn't a boxer, that's a man that one punch is the power of, what is it, a Mack diesel truck?
Yeah, but UFC gloves are also different than boxing gloves.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, when you have the power and the impact of him, you get a good coach, you get a camp.
I'm not
It's
doubting he
possible.
couldn't absolutely body somebody in boxing, but like to jump into the straight top elite, that's where like things
That's
get a
true,
little.
bro. You are fighting the best of the fucking best right now. And that's where the problem comes in. 'Cause Fury won. Fury will take the paycheck. Same with Ngannou. They'll both take the pay cut. But
Yeah.
they both have giant reputations and giant egos. So it's going to be another. I don't know. People will watch, people will buy, but I think it will be close. I hope it's not a mismatch.
We'll see. But moving on to the new fights announced.
Courtesy of a fucking leaked pick. Thanks, Dana.
We have, I mean, yeah, but they're all kind of getting announced anyway. So like,
I know,
it
but
was a
you know
leak
that's
for a
not how he
minute.
meant to do it.
Then after that minute, it wasn't a leak anymore.
They had
We
to
have
release it
Sean
now.
Strickland going up against Alex Pereira.
I like this one, to be honest with you, because I don't think this is going to be one-sided towards Strickland, as much as people may think. I think this is going to be closer. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I love seeing Strickland fight. He
But
walks in there like a dog. He barks at you like a dog. He punches you like a dog.
he's a mean
He wants you
motherfucker.
to punch him like a dog. He
He
wants to
gives me
go
Diaz
in there
vibes.
for war. He does, but better.
Yeah, like he gives me vibes of like, I don't want to hit you until you punch me in the fucking mouth. Like,
Yeah.
type shit.
And that is happening at UFC 276. Notice a little trend with some of these. They might be a lot at the same time. We have Robbie Lawler going up against Brian Barberena.
Oh, damn, I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like, I mean, it's Robbie Lawler, but fuck, he's getting old,
I did not expect Robbie to still be fighting. I'm not gonna lie.
right? Like, I was shocked. I was shocked. He probably saw Nick. It was like Nick Diaz was like, "Ah, shit, I should probably keep fighting too then." But
Fuck it, man. Robbie could do some shit, man. After the last fight we saw.
yeah.
Granted, the circumstances were different, but.
Well, that's happening at UFC 276.
Huh.
Another fight happening at UFC 276. Pedro Munhoz and Sugar Sean O'Malley.
See, I like this because, once again, I feel like this is an opponent that Sugar can beat, but I feel like this is going to be a good fight. I like Munoz over the other opponents that he's faced because Munoz, I feel like, has upset potential, which is the first person I've seen O'Malley face that has it.
Nah, I called it with Marlon Vera.
You thought he had upset potential?
Yeah, and he upset O'Malley.
When?
This was like a year and a half ago.
Don't remember that.
I can pull up the
No,
fight.
I believe you. I believe you, Luke. I believe you.
Well, anyways, we have the next up at UFC 277. We have another
that's
dog, Anthony Smith, who likes to go in there and bark like a dog and just be aggressive as shit. Going up against
Who's he fighting?
Magomed Ankalaev.
What?
Watch the shit out of that.
The fuck did you
Magomed
just say?
Ankalaev.
First name again?
I'm not saying his first name again.
Spell it.
Magomed. Magomed?
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 I don't think it's Magomed. Oh, wait.
You know,
Magomed? Magomed.
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 Yes. We landed on it.
Thank you, Tyler. I honestly needed to see that. All right, what do we got next?
That's the last new fight.
All right, so now we can get into this weekend.
Yeah, we can get into this weekend. Because we have for the first fight of UFC 274.
Big weekend.
Big fucking weekend. Actually, not even the first fight. We have the announcers. We got Joe Rogan. We got Joe Anik. And we got... No, I'm kidding. Daniel Cormier.
Yay! We got the trio.
For the first time since January. Yay!
Let's go.
Woo! There should be some highlight fucking knockouts then. You know what that means.
Fuck yeah, we should see some shocked faces. Because they know the card, bro. They know his fight.
All right, but for fight one of the main event, we have Donald Cerrone minus 165 against Joe Lazan plus 140.
You know, we were just talking about him, and I was looking at him, and I was researching. This shit's really even, but at the same time, Donald does have 8 more fights. He's got a lot more experience.
And it's not a big fight.
I agree. I'm going to take him.
Donald chokes the big fights. He gets the fucking small fights and the just the normal fights. But when it comes to the spotlight fights, he chokes.
I'm going to take the Cowboy in this fight, to be honest with you. I'll probably take him either by decision. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, 3-round. I'll take Cerrone by decision.
Yep.
Well, next up for fight number 2 of the main event, we have Mauricio Rao against Ovin St. Preux, or Pew, however you say it.
Yeah, I got to find, bro, because I was taking the upset here, and I got to find out. I got to refresh my brain on who that was real quick. So,
Mauricio.
was looking at it, and
Mauricio's
the favorite here is St. Preux. But I'm actually going to take Mauricio Shogun Rua. I actually like his upset potential here. They both just came off of a loss. But even though that I think that he's got 25 less pounds, I think that the only thing that's a really big factor here is going to be that leg reach. But when it comes to knockout percentage and what I'm looking at, my pick is going to be Rua by knockout.
That's just unfortunate because I'm taking the favorite in this fight. Give me Vince. Oh, Vince.
Beautiful.
All right, fight number 3.
Time for the obliteration fight.
Time for the absolute fucking this shouldn't even be a fight. Michael Chandler, minus 400, going up against Tony Ferguson, plus 310.
600, okay?
Should be minus 800.
It's just bad. Tony Ferguson, you're not what
El Kukui is not El Kukui anymore.
He really isn't. Look at Peter Yan, for example. Okay, look at what Peter Yan did to Tony Ferguson, and then look at what happened with Michael Chandler. One was a war, and the other one was an absolute ass whooping.
Look at the last couple of Tony's fights, and you see the same result.
over and over. It's just him getting
He's just a
mauled.
walking, fucking rolling around like punching bag.
Chandler could end this bitch in round 1. I'm gonna take him
He
round
might.
2, but he could end it round 1.
But Tony does have a chin for some reason and can take the beating to the
That's
point where the
true.
refs have to like make him stop because he's not giving up and he's about to like do some very like heavy damage to his brain,
That's facts.
which he probably already has, to be
But
honest.
yeah, overall Chandler by knockout, or if Tony survives, by decision.
All right, for the co-main event, we have Thug Rhodes
Thug Rhodes!
minus 225 against Carla Esparza plus 185.
Thug's got to get her fucking payback, bro.
Yes, she does, because that is the beef going into this fight. Namajunas is looking for revenge as she defends her belt against Esparza, who defeated her on Tough 20 in the finale in 2014.
She won the Ultimate Fighter.
Round 3 submission.
I mean, here's my thing. If Carla Esparza takes the Ultimate Fighter from her and then comes in second fight, takes her title, shit.
Rose ain't gonna let that happen.
I'm taking Thug Rose, but I'm just saying that would be
I'm worried.
shit.
Don't get me wrong. This is like
You gotta look at it both ways if it were to happen.
she's got me worried. But I'm sticking with my girl Thug Rose because she is the baddest woman on the planet.
I think this is a completely different Thug Rose than the one that was on Tough 20. And I think that this one is a badder one, this one is a meaner one, and this one's going to have a completely different game plan for Carla. Obviously, she's going to be different too, but I think that it's going to be a completely different fight than last time.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
All right, now let's get into it. Time for the fucking
let's
main
get
event.
into
Main event
the
time
main
for the lightweight
event.
championship of the goddamn
We
world.
have Charles Oliveira
Bro,
minus 175.
Oliveira. Go ahead.
Going up against Justin Gaethje plus 145. And now Gaethje has been talking some smack, saying he's going to drag Oliveira through hell like he did Khabib. And I'm like, bro, you did not drag Khabib through hell.
He did not.
What are you talking about?
What is he talking about? This man is crazy.
Khabib chose to not break his arm and just to choke him out in front of his family. He showed you mercy, and you say you put him through hell? What? Get out of here. Oliveira, of course, said, stop talking shit and do it.
Yeah, Oliveira also said he's fighting for his family, he's fighting for his legacy, and he's going to knock Justin Gaethje out. Knock him out, he said. Not submit him, which is very important here. Because the main thing is, Justin Gaethje's whole thing is, Oliveira needs to fucking pray to God that he makes sure that I don't hit the ground. Because if it stays on the feet, he's going to get knocked out. But if Oliveira's saying, bro, I will knock you the fuck out too. It doesn't matter if we're on the feet. It doesn't matter if we're submission artists. Now, a lot of people get it mistaken because Oliveira has the most submission wins in UFC history. This man still has knockout power. This man can still get the KO. Obviously, Justin Gaethje would be the favorite in a striking match, but do not count Oliveira out in that aspect as well, just because he's known for the submission aspect.
He's got a chin on him.
He really does, and we've seen that the last
time
two
and
fights.
time and again.
Last two fights have been, in my opinion, comeback KOs.
I'm not a fan of
No,
Oliveira's
they have
first
been
round.
comeback KOs.
Oliveira's first rounds
There's
are
no question
not
about
pretty.
it.
And you want me to be honest? I see
Yes,
this one
Jesse.
being the exact same way. I see Gaethje coming out striking first round, and then Oliveira comes back dominant. Give me Oliveira, and even though he said he's going to win by KO, I still think he's going to fucking lock in a submission. And I'm going to take Oliveira. You know what? No. I'm going to take Oliveira by decision.
You
That's
don't
fine.
think he's going to knock him out or submit him?
I think there's going to be multiple
way?
chances for both men, too. And I think it's going to be one of those fights where it goes to a decision. I'm going to take Oliveira by decision.
After all that talk with how like the announcers and how the card's gonna be, you're not taking a knockout here, Dylan?
Dude, I want to take a
It's a
knockout, but
5-round.
realistically, I see a submission happening more just because of the
Listen.
fact that I see them being more of a stand-up triangle or a stand-up guillotine that he puts on him. I don't see them going to the ground. So fuck it. Then I guess I would take submission, wouldn't I? Yes. Give me
Listen.
Oliveira,
Into it.
Oliveira,
Here's-
my submission.
Here's the thing. I was all on Justin Gaethje. All on Justin Gaethje because he's a
Pussy.
fucking animal in the fucking
Never on
ring.
Oliveira.
He's a different animal. He's a fucking brute. He's a dog. He goes in the trenches. He survives the trenches. But he hasn't really been surviving the trenches lately. And he kind of pissed me off with his fucking statements about dragging Khabib through hell. Like, what? No! Now I want fucking Oliveira to fucking submit his ass.
Yes, it's about goddamn time. I gotta look over here.
Oliveira's gonna take this one.
And
He's
I
gonna
know where
jump on
Jesse's
his
going,
fucking
so-
back like a slithery little fucking snake.
Beautiful.
He's gonna wrap all up around him and
Damn
choke
right
him
he
the
is.
fuck out.
Fuck yes he is. Oliveira. Ah. Tyler, who you got?
Yeah, I'll take Oliveira, but that was quite a moment you guys shared there.
Come on now. It's Oliveira. Oh, Oliveira. Oh, Oliveira. 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 Oh, Oliveira. Oh, Oliveira.
I'm taking Gaethje.
I'd probably be with you if I didn't want him to get fucking.
I had to kill your vibe. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm taking Oliveira. I just gotta yank his chain when I can. You were too busy dancing to see me say, "Watch this."
But Oliveira's gonna win. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be magical. And then, you know what? We'll talk about the next challenger that I don't really want to name right now when we have to. But it's on to Gaethje.
All right, so next up here on Rather Tide Sports Podcast, we have some football talk, starting with college football. The American Athletic Conference is settling on their exit fee from the American Athletic Conference. There are 3 teams that are headed to the Big 12 for a substantial payout. Dylan, what do the numbers say on this one?
Now, the 3-team settlement is going to be $17 to $20 million range to be joining the Big 12 in the 2023 season. The 3 teams that are going to be joining are the UCF, Houston, and Cincinnati. 3 pretty good teams in my opinion. Cincinnati, we just saw what they did with Riddler, had a great year. UCF has had some great years over the.
We just seen them lose their 6 best players.
But I'm just saying, these are 3 teams right now that they're looking like they're joining the Big 12.
Well, Cincinnati saw that they get disrespected as being a Power 5, and they're like, all right, we're not going to be a fucking Power 5 anymore.
I think that these 3 teams, especially UCF and Cincinnati, have both been put in a position so long where we saw it happen with UCF a couple years ago, and Cincinnati, we saw them complain about it also recently. They want better competition, so it looks better for them when it comes playoff time if they're in that position, which I agree 100% why. But a big factor you're forgetting is the competition you're now playing is not going – you're not going to probably have the better chance of getting the same record or as good of a record you had before because your competition is changing on a pretty higher level.
Yeah, but as long as you still win the games against the good teams, you still slate some bad teams. I mean, look at Michigan's schedule this year.
That's true, but you got Cincinnati.
They're still playing dog water teams and then
Well,
also good teams.
Let's think about it. Oregon's always good. We know USC is going to be good for the next couple of years. Those are 2 teams I really would want to fuck with in the Big 12 right now.
Well, they're going to fuck with them.
Yeah.
That's all I got. But let's talk about your Tennessee Titans for a second here, because Tannehill had some choice words on how he feels about the rookie quarterback
He's a
that
fucking
the Titans
idiot.
drafted.
He realizes what's happening. The writing's on the goddamn wall. He's not going to be here anymore. He's going to be gone. and he's being a little bitch about it, and it's pissing me off. So, for some reason, he wants to go all fucking Brett Favre on this shit, and just go. Now he doesn't want to mentor Malik Willis. He's saying that it's not his job to mentor Malik Willis. If he learns from me, that's a great thing, but he doesn't feel like it's his job. It's not like Ryan Tannehill's been a veteran quarterback for almost 10, or I think over 10 years, and he's a rookie quarterback. So now we have old quarterbacks reaching out on Twitter. I think it was ironically now Brett Favre, who's the one reaching out now, and Drew Brees, people are tweeting at Malik going, hey, if you need a QB to mentor you, I got you, because that's fucked up. Bro's being a little bitch because he knows that he's going to lose his starting job, and now he doesn't want to help mentor the new guy, who everyone's saying is going to be a good quarterback. Just let him get some mentoring and let him ride a year from Tannehill. Jesse, I saw your face, so I'll go right there.
Because this nigga Tannehill's ridiculous. Like,
he's a bitch.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job, so, like, I don't want to help you make that happen quicker. Like, now we see you a selfish player. You're not even for the team. You for yourself. That only looked bad on you. I would rather get help from Brett Favre or Drew Brees. Fuck you then, Tannehill. Heard. When I take your spot, the 5th week, you're still going to be sitting there salty. And I didn't learn shit from you, so I guess if that's what you want, that's what you'll get.
Right. It's almost like he's like, hey, bro, like, they trust you. You clearly don't need to learn from me. Like, you're the new guy moving forward. Like, bro, it's no veteran quarterback has that position, bro. Not even Andy Dalton fucking did that shit when he was playing veteran and he was young in the third strings. Like, come on now. I don't understand why he's got to be a little cocky about this. And he's just making the choice of us taking Malik look better on us overall. This shows what you just said, bro. He's selfish. And selfish quarterback is going to help you win games. But another thing I do want to point out, because I talked about this with Tyler for a minute, this man went on to say, quote unquote, this was in that same press conference, that he has had PTSD from the game in Cincinnati, and he has had almost the entire offseason, he hasn't been able to sleep because he's been replaying the interception and what went wrong in his head, and it is giving him severe PTSD. So me and Tyler talked about this. This means two things. It either means, one, in week 7, when they do play Cincinnati at home, good Lord, is this man going to fumble the bag and just have post-traumatic stress disorder over it and break down and fuck up again? Or
that was my theory.
Or he's going to probably play like shit the first couple games, and then Malik will be the quarterback going into Cincinnati, and we'll see what happens then. So that's what I think is going to happen on that. But, Jesse, how do you feel about – I'll let you boost because your Cincinnati Bengals gave Tannehill PTSD. I'll let you sink that in.
Listen, PTSD is very serious. It is not something to laugh about. But this nigga is an NFL player getting PTSD over how ass he played.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry, bro. I can't.
So this nigga, Ronald Jones II, must have, like, problems with how much he fumbles in so many games that matter. Tannehill, you're like the first nigga to say some shit like this.
He's gonna start a movement.
Dog, he just might. Like, I'm not even laughing at PTSD. I'm laughing at Tannehill.
No, I'm laughing at
Tannehill.
He's getting PTSD from himself of how bad he did in a football game. That is something you can laugh at.
When Tannehill retires and you see the PTSD campaign, I want you guys to be ready for it.
You know how ass you gotta play
to give yourself PTSD.
Mindset you have on yourself to throw interceptions in a game and it keep you up at night.
You're not sleeping because
PTSD. It's not just keep you up at night. Like every time you get in the gym, it's making your head act funny.
Every time this man Tannehill is trying to sleep and he closed his fucking eyes, bro, he's Eli Apple. Fuck. Like he ain't sleeping.
You think that's why? Do you think he's like do you think he got some PTSD because it's Eli Apple? Everybody was dogging him, and that's the same. He threw an interception too.
That might be it. But we also have some more news to get into here with D-Hop getting suspended for the first 6 games of next season.
Jesse Lewk.
There's a mess up. I don't believe it. How the hell are you going to get your September test? No. How are you going to get October tested? Boom, you're good. November, you fail. But December, you're good. And they didn't find out about November being bad until now. What? 2 positives, but a negative in the middle. What does that mean? What does that mean? Go to court.
Muted, Luke. Still muted, Luke.
Hello?
There you go, Luke.
Well, nothing was muted, so I was trying to fix my mic. So, sorry.
So what do you got?
What are we talking about? I'm trying to fix my mic.
It says Hopkins is suspended 6 games. That's what we're talking about.
Where have you been?
How long was your mic not working? It's not working again. Damn, son.
How about now?
Now it's working again.
There's
Yeah, there you
no
go.
way, man. Luke, bro, it's not your day today. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I didn't find that as a big inconvenience for me, but I guess D-Hop gone for 6 games. Probably get reversed because it's bullshit. So there's that. Good night, Jim Kite.
All right, the NFL's 2022 international games have been announced. 3 will be played in London, and the first ever game will be played in Germany this year. Dylan, what is the scoop looking like on these international games?
All right, so we got, like he just said, 3 games in the UK, starting with October 2nd, Vikings and Saints. Then on October 9th, we have the Giants going to the Packers. On October 30th, which
They're not going to the Packers. They're going to London.
Right, but it's Giants and Packers. Damn it.
Got him.
But and then on October 30th, which I believe is Halloween, that is the Broncos and Jaguars. How fun is that? Russell Wilson cooking up the Jags. Actually, that might be a good game. But anyways. Sorry, I had a hiccup. The Seahawks and the Buccaneers will play in the first ever game in Germany on November 13th at 9:30. So that is the Germany game. And then the final game that is taking place in Mexico is the same team that was home the last time they went to Mexico, that being the Cardinals, and they will be taking on the 49ers on November 21st.
I like these matchups, but we got to go back. We got to backtrack.
Back.
Dylan, what day is Halloween on?
Is it not on October 30th? I thought it was like the last day of the month or whatever.
It is the last day of the month.
So it's the 31st?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
fuck.
The only thing I have to say is I think we could have had a better team than Seattle with what they look like. I don't know what they'll look like by then, but I feel like we could have gave Germany a little something more. That might be an ugly game if things don't roll out.
You're saying the Lions should have went to Germany? Is that what you're saying?
No, they know what they were doing. They put the Buccaneers.
Saying we should have went to Germany?
They put the Buccaneers in a game in Germany where the Germany fans can watch Tom Brady shit on some people.
Maybe.
They're smart.
That is a good idea. Tom Brady is a universal icon.
I understand it. It's like, they're going to have a fucking NBA game in Germany. They're probably going to have the Lakers versus the fucking Pistons. So, they're going to do something like that. You know what I mean? The Warriors versus the Pistons. Yeah. So it makes sense.
Oh, well, come on. Don't disrespect.
Right now, this year.
Put the drugs down, my guy. You got too fucked up because you're tripping. Why the hell would they send the Pistons to Germany?
Did you not hear my previous point?
I did.
I said that they would take the icon or like one of the faces of the league, that being LeBron or Curry, and put them against a team that they know they dick down, being the Pistons. Would they not dick down?
Anybody want to watch a dick?
No, they wouldn't.
That's what they're going to watch in Germany when the Bucks play Seattle.
The Lakers suck.
Lakers suck.
But we already knew that. So let's move on. The Saints made a move for the Honey Badger. Jesse, 3 years, $30 million. What does this look like for the Saints? Obviously, they need more than just the Honey Badger on that defense in order to be a solid contender this year, and especially on the offensive end, they need help. But what do you think?
Is okay, we have a solid lineup of corners. We got a solid back, deep DBs. Deep safeties. And then we got a decent D line. But the linebackers aren't the prettiest. So, this only does so much for the defense. But the Honey Badger is nice with the shits. But at the same time, it's like, I still don't see us winning 10 games. So, not this year. We'll see what happens in the next two.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly sums it up for all of us. I agree 100%.
It's hard out here being a Saints fan.
You guys are interesting right now. You're in a weird position. But anyways, I believe that's all we have for football, and let's get into the NBA Playoff update.
Playoff.
So anyways, let's start off with the 76ers without Embiid going to Miami, and it went about as you would expect. Now, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey tried to do what they can, but I'm sorry, Tyrese Maxey, when you shoot 6 for 15, and Harden, when you shoot 5 for 14, it's going to be hard to do anything when you two are the guys that are going to have to generate most of the offense if Embiid isn't there. Miami, over on that side, honestly, everybody was balling. We had 10 points from Vincent, 10 points from PJ. We had fucking Jimmy who came in and did 15. He was 1 assist away from a double-double. Bam came in and had a double-double with 24 points. And then Tyler Hero, who we'll get into for a minute, who is the best player in the league, who shows it time and time again, coming off the bench right now, put up 25. And the Heat torched him. Jesse, anything to add?
The best player in the league is crazy.
Coming off the bench right now? Well, he won an award that we'll talk about in a minute. That kind of
he's the sixth. He's the sixth man for sure.
This is the second time he's won this award?
Yeah, because
so
he's a 6 man, but he's like
I got proof
he's
back
36. He's a 36 minutes a game 6 man.
He is a wild 6 man. He was like Curry injured in the playoffs 6 man.
He might come off the bench, but he's still playing starter minutes. But hey, that's because he balls. He was a little whack in the bubble, but out the bubble now and before the bubble.
What do you got to say about Maxey and Harden both shooting 40% and 38%?
He got defense.
1 for 6 from the 3.
Without Joel.
2 for 7.
Without Joel. You know how easy it is to make sure the paint isn't a problem for DeAndre Jordan?
That's true. But DeAndre Jordan only had 4 points.
Exactly.
Shots.
Because he ain't shit. You don't got to worry about him. You really don't.
I don't know, timeout guys. I don't know if this is going to entail anything more. I don't know if anything more is going to happen, but I do have the Boston Bruins and Carolina Hurricanes game on in the same room as me right now. And Brad Marchand almost just got into a fight with the rookie goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes goalie went to go play the puck just now. Brad Marchand also wanted the puck, so he hit the goalie on the pads, and then the goalie turned around and shoved him on the shoulder. So Brad Marchand stopped, turned around, looked at the goalie, and slashed him across the fucking pads again, just staring at him. And both of them were just assessed penalties.
Well, that sounds like Brad.
So Brad
like
Marchand in the middle of basketball.
Who else but Marchand?
Anyways, game. The next game we got that's going on is Dallas and Phoenix. Game 1 happened, and if you want me to be completely honest with you, it was essentially the Phoenix Suns versus the Luka Doncic's, because that was essentially all that they were playing up against. Because over on the Phoenix side, they were dishing the ball. They had good ball movement over there. Michael, once again, this man's shooting percentage, he won't take more than 10 shots per game, and he'll continuously keep it at a good percentage. Devin Booker did his thing with 23, 8, and had 25. CP3 had 19. Cam Johnson also was 17 off the bench. Cam Johnson, someone I pointed out last time because I don't like the Suns, but he's super underrated, and I do like Cam Johnson. And then when it comes to Dallas' stat line, Luka Doncic, 45 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Basically the entire team. Nobody else really did.
Damn near triple-double.
Everyone else got like shit, to be honest with you, and Luka took 30 shots. Luke?
The Suns.
I love it.
I understand it. Jesse?
I love it.
Thanks, Luke.
The Suns are so problematic right now, and I hate it.
I love it.
These
here we
niggas
go.
haven't shot under 50% in one playoff game this fucking season. They have 5 straight games of 50% or higher with a 60% 2 games ago.
I told you. Revenge tour, baby.
They still gonna get knocked out by the Warriors or the Grizzlies, but I'll say
I
that.
already told you what's going to happen come that time.
I don't care what you think. We will talk about this on a later day. First, your Suns have to get
after the series. After
first,
it
your
happens.
Suns have to get past the Mavs, and we have to figure out who wins between the Warriors and the Grizz.
And it's not going to be the Grizzlies. So,
It is not going to be the
anyways,
Grizzlies.
Next series. Moving on from
We lost Gary Payton. That is so problematic. I don't care what anyone says.
your whole team is problematic when Ja fucking poops on the middle of the floor again, which he will.
2 good games in a row.
We'll get into that in a minute.
He knows he needs the ball.
In a minute. All right.
He knows he needs the ball.
We're going to fight in a
5
second.
minutes.
Yeah, we are.
So, anyways, the Celtics
It's fight night on Wednesday.
coming back from the first game after Giannis's triple-double. There was an absolute anal rape game 1 from the Bucks. Celtics had to come back, bounce back, do something, and they came back and absolutely smashed them. And that was Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum absolutely combining for 30, 29, 59 points total. Al Horford had a double-double to help him, and that's a great way to bounce back after Giannis babying him in a triple-double. Jesse?
What's up?
Luke? How you feel about Boston? Big win.
Me and Jesse are
I don't know how I
preoccupied.
feel
doing
about
some other
Boston.
I don't understand what happened.
I love Boston. And they're going to go to the finals and lose to the Suns.
bullshit. At least to the Suns.
Nigga speaking
He's staying on idle.
All right, you guys, I'm going to be honest. I know you don't give a fuck about this series.
No. Hold on. I do give a fuck because I want to know how the hell the Bucks give these niggas an ass clapping game 1 with Marcus Smart playing. Then Marcus Smart doesn't play, and yeah, George Hill.
They doubted them.
George Hill didn't play. I think is he on? Oh God, we're gonna go with George Hill until someone tells me different. George Hill didn't play for the Bucks, and these niggas get their ass clapped. Like,
Sometimes you gotta get your cheeks.
is there gonna be a close game in this series? Like, come on,
lessons.
we gotta get it. I want to see some
Sports.
I want to see shit like the Warriors and the Bucks. I mean, in the Grizzlies game last night.
Warriors Grizzlies series is by far my favorite.
Yeah, and
series.
we can get into
It might
that
be
one
my
right
favorite
now.
series of the playoffs.
That bitch is going to go to 7. We can get into that one right now. We can start with the game that happened last night after Ja dropped a fucking 40 burger and almost had a triple-double. Jesus Christ. This is the game that me and, more importantly, Jesse have been waiting for this man to have, where he just put the team on the back and said, yes, I think I can hit every shot. I don't care where I take it. And he did. Fourth quarter,
This nigga was pissing me off. This nigga in the fourth quarter was pissing me off. I'm at the bar watching this game. And every time this nigga's taking a shot, I'm like, bro, why are you taking that shot? Why are you driving the ball like so? This nigga is nuts. He does not care who's in the paint, how we got to get to the paint. He's just going there and he's putting it up. I watched this nigga take like 5 bad shots in a row. Mind you, 3 of them dropped. Yes. But the first 2, which wasn't even the worst shots out of all 5, I was like, dog, you're bugging. And I was like, how many times did he shot the ball tonight? And that's when I found out it was like 29 times. And I was like, this explains it. That nigga's in his bag.
Yeah.
He's like, that nigga's Kobe on the jumpers, Curry from the 3. That's how he drives. So can't really say shit.
One thing I do want to point out on the Golden State end is Clay shot, I believe, 4 for 18 game 1. He's now shot 5 for 19 game 2. I don't know what's going on with Clay right now, but he can't get his shit together. It's really just been Gary Payton who's actually been stepping up in a higher role than Clay right now, which is absurd.
And Gary Payton will not be stepping up anymore because he fractured his elbow.
Why do I feel like
he's
you
out
didn't
now.
even mean to say Gary Payton?
What?
Are you sure you're talking about Gary Payton?
Did you mean to say Jordan Poole,
Gary Payton Jr., obviously.
who's out for the remainder of the
I
playoffs?
swear this nigga GP played like 5 minutes.
Gary Payton played 2 minutes and 52 seconds, to be honest with you.
So what the
Yeah.
fuck?
So what are you? Shut the fuck up,
What are
Dylan.
you
God.
talking about, Dylan? Jordan Poole stepping up. Hey, Wiggs stepping up. But Gary Payton is just defense.
Gary Payton got injured.
Gary
But
Payton's
he got injured.
Gary Payton got injured.
He is very injured.
Gary
Actually.
This is
Payton
gonna be
Gary
Oh,
Payton only had
Gary's the
series to
MVP.
watch.
Gary Payton only had 4 less points than Clay, and he shot better than him. That's all I'm saying,
God
Clay.
damn it.
Come on now. He had 8, Clay had 12.
Hey, Gary's the real MVP here.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout
That's
out
all I
Gary.
say.
I fuck
Shout
with
out Gary, who's not going to play another playoff game this year. Let's talk about another sport that's involved
All
in
right,
the
Luke.
playoffs right now. One where you can actually punch people in the face. One where you can
Yes.
just take 5 minutes and think about it and then get back out there and punch each other in the face again if you so happen to feel like it.
Yes.
So let's talk about the NHL playoffs, boys. First game of the Kings and Oilers series goes to the Kings. The Oilers starting off the playoffs, proving still that they cannot win playoff games and playoff series. Not a good start.
I want to say
If
this
things
first
keep-
before Luke.
if-
McDavid's goal,
Okay.
his 1 versus 5, his first goal that he had in the playoffs, is the best goal I've seen so far. It's been fucking unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
That is true. But also, take note, because if the trend keeps up, that's going to be like one of his 2 points this entire series.
Hey, Luke,
Not
all
even
right.
goals, points.
How are you
That does
feeling
happen
about this?
sometimes.
About the Oilers.
Remember
taking
last
this
year
game?
they were absolute ghosts until like they were there game 1. Then they turned into ghosts for like until like game 6 maybe where they lost.
The Oilers?
No, not Oilers. Yeah, the Oilers.
They got swept
Yeah,
last year.
he's talking about the
Or the s-
Oilers.
No, I didn't mean to say in game 6 then. Fucking 4.
Yeah, game 4 then, because they got swept last year. And I remember we were all like, how the hell did Winnipeg just sweep?
And game 4 was their best game. They lost by like 2.
Yeah.
And they had like he only had like 2 points, 2 or 3 points.
Yep. Him and Draisaitl were doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Offense
anyways,
cooks
Kings
in the regular
take
season
one.
and not in the playoffs.
They take it on the road too. Oilers got to win game 2, bro, or we're going to be in a bad position.
Hello, bro.
What's going
up,
on?
Terry?
This is, oh my
What up,
God.
Zone?
It's, what's
Welcome.
his name? It's Zach
Welcome to
Fuller's.
the chat.
It's Zach Fuller's fucking friend. Can't remember his name.
Oh,
Can't remember his
really? You
apartment.
figured that out? You figured that out
That's
that
his
fast?
Snapchat name. I have my Snapchat.
Oh, that's right. What up, fella?
Yeah.
We got the
good?
Penguins taking the win over the Rangers in triple overtime. What I thought was funny about this game is that the backup goalie ended up coming in for the Penguins. And it was right after he had a full meal because he was the backup goalie. He was a little bored sitting on the bench all game. He got hungry. And, game goes on for a long time, triple overtime. Eventually at some point, first overtime, he's a little hungry. So he goes and finds a meal that was supposed to be for the post-game meal, and he grubs down. And then coach is like, hey, buddy, you're getting in the game. So, it's time to get out there. And then he shuts out the Rangers, and the Penguins win in triple overtime with a goal by none other than Evgeny Malkin.
Tipping. He pulled the
Had to
Travis.
be a
Travis
Malkin or
has front of the
Crosby. It wasn't going to be
And-
anybody else.
What's even better was today, who was it? The other team's backup goalie was practicing with them. Pittsburgh's Rangers emergency goalie was practicing with Pittsburgh
Oh, that's great.
this morning.
So if they're in a situation where they need him, you're literally going to have the emergency goalie for the Rangers having to go in against his current team.
Yeah.
I want
Well,
that so bad now. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
sounds
There's a chance he plays. There's a chance he plays,
sounds illegal.
especially with
That
the
would be
Penguins
unbelievable.
goalies
It's
lock.
like,
I'm
it's like
selling.
Dakota. It's like when Dakota would have to play Anchor Bay.
That sounds so fucking tampered.
You got me fucked up.
It's like in
I'm
high school.
selling.
It's like in high
Nah.
school, you guys had to play Anchor Bay and shit, and they didn't have enough people. You guys had to, here, just give you a goal.
And we gave some of our players.
Dude, think about this. He's the emergency
Big
goalie, so
boy.
he's very at the low end of the spectrum on the contract. So he's probably like you could probably even barely consider him signed. So like he's probably like easy pickings for any team. So like you go for the Penguins, you shut out the Rangers, you make a mean playoff push, you got yourself a fucking job.
Facts.
Better job.
Imagine that.
Be like, fuck
Imagine
you
he
guys.
plays, shuts his own team out, and then moves
That's-
on with the other team.
He's
That's
like,
the
I'm out.
story if he starts playing, bro. And that's gonna be funny.
Peace.
I wonder if he'll.
Peace. I'm actually good as fuck.
What if they're like,
Drop his
yeah,
ass, man.
they're like, yeah, our other goalies can stay out. We're keeping this guy all the way.
Yeah, I found out I'm actually good as fuck.
That would actually be hilarious. Maybe they should give him to the Predators because the Avalanche absolutely smacked the Predators
They scored
7-2.
5 goals in the fucking first. Now I know Saros is out.
They set the
but
tone,
holy
baby.
shit. I turned it
Yeah.
off after the first. I said, GG's. Let's go Avs.
The best,
I-
the best part about that game for me personally was on Twitter when this man Taylor went nuts on Twitter like, "Hey Nashville," and like he was like "Hockey Town" or whatever, and then Nashville replies to his tweet. They're like, "Yeah, no, that ain't it. We're
We're gonna
losing,
get-
Taylor. Taylor, we're losing. Calm down. We're losing right now. Please stop." And then
This game was
Barstool.
probably empty
Barstool
after the
just
first
said,
period.
yeah, this is why there's one Hockey Town, and this guy has no idea what's going on.
They screwed Taylor. They set him up. They should have said 0-2.
He should have.
You don't
They
put,
should have.
you put 0-2, not 2-0.
Facts.
Wrong. They did it all wrong. But
We
Preds, you're gonna need to really figure it out if you're gonna find any way to have a chance in this series.
I was talking
Just a
to Brad,
chance.
and I was like, "Yep, that's a sweep."
It is
Yeah,
sweet.
That's a sweep.
it ain't
A surprise came out of Florida though, as the Caps took Game 1 4-2 over the Florida Panthers. Honestly, not something that I expected at all. I did
Panthers
not think
choked
that the
a
Florida
2-1.
Panthers would go down Game 1.
Nah, they did. Oh wait, yeah, it was a 2-1. I thought you said 2-0.
Yeah, because Caps scored 3 in a row.
I thought
Luke,
you
what
said
are your
2-0.
thoughts on
That's
this
why I was
game here?
tripping. This one gave me a shock because I was looking. I was like, "Oh, our Panthers up. My bet's looking good." And then I was like, "Oh fuck, it's tied." And then they're up again. And then I was like, "Okay, I'll check back in a while, and then I'll see how my bet's doing." I look back. The Caps are up 3-2. It is coming down to the final minutes of the game. I'm like, "What is going on? What the fuck?" And they win 4-2
Empty.
and upset the Panthers.
Fucking net.
And that, I'm gonna be honest, that was a shock.
That's a big Game 1. I will say that. When you're in a series where Florida's
That's
as hot as they are right now, and they've won as many games as they did to close out the year, that's a big Game 1 to
See,
take the Caps.
Dylan, now that's a statement.
Exactly. That takes
That's a
that momentum,
statement.
that all that they build up to take the end of the season to come into the playoffs with, and stops it in one game.
The Panthers are like, "Oh shit, we have a series. This is not going to be some easy fucking walk in the park."
And I think we all
With
knew
their
that,
low
didn't
seed.
we? We knew this was going to be a 4 or 5 game series. This bitch going 6-7.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
had to
for
go-
sure.
You got
Yeah, definitely. We got 2 more series left to cover here. The St. Louis Blues defeated the Wild in Game 1 and currently lead the series 1-0. That game takes place tonight at 9:30. Game 2. What do you guys think the Wild need to do in order to take Game 2 from the Blues?
Score a fucking goal.
Yeah, they got fucking shut
Good
out.
start.
And
It's a
that
good
dirty-
start.
and
That
dirty
helps.
shit.
That fucking helps. Not getting shut out in the game fucking 1 against a team you're supposed to go to Game 7 with.
What are you doing, Minnesota?
Is that
Like,
the same advice?
like this is the shit I was worried about. You know how I was telling you I really didn't want to pick the Wild because everything, or I wanted to pick the Wild, but everything in my body was telling me Blues.
I'm sorry, but if the Wild lose,
This is
I
Yeah,
have to blame
I
Zach.
understand.
This is
I have to.
I understand now, and it's coming to fruition. Like it makes sense.
yeah, and I'm not liking it.
They need to
And
wake
then
up.
the final series we have here, the
Is
Flames
check
and
the Tampa game right now?
Calgary leads the series 1-0, and the game ended in a score of 1-0.
Fun.
Not a very exciting series, but a very physical game by both teams. And I think this series between the Flames and the Stars is going to be low scoring, but I think it's going to be pretty chippy.
Oh yeah, you saw what that says because there's
Hey,
one more
hey,
series we got to talk about. Ty.
Keep the current game that's live at the moment, Zach.
The Lightning are currently winning, Zach.
How'd game one go, boys? Let's talk about it real quick.
Game
It went
one,
well.
I'll tell you. Let me start with this.
All right,
Let me fucking start.
Go to Luke.
That was some of the most horrendous, pitiful, fucking absolute god-awful hockey I've ever seen Tampa Bay play. And oh my lord, as soon as after the first, I was like, dude, all right, they gotta adjust. They gotta make some changes. Like, they look terrible. Like, it's not even just the Leafs dominating the fuck out of them. They're just so bad at everything they were doing. It was I don't even fucking know. They're basically they handed the Leafs that fucking win. Basically, they couldn't make a pass to save their lives. They couldn't get it out of the fucking zone. They couldn't get in the zone, in the offensive zone when they're on the power play, and they're usually strong as fuck on that. Shit pissed me off. But right now, it seems like they made changes because they got the first 2 goals of the game, and now it's 3-1.
Also, final series. Go Canes. We won game 1 and we're up 4-1 in game 2. Woohoo, Canes.
Yes.
Baby.
Yeah, they're whooping Boston. And at the moment, I think for the year, regular season and playoffs included, they're outscoring Boston 26-3.
That's music to my ears. I'm going to send that to Shane.
Yeah. 26-3 for the year. Regular season and playoffs. That is brutal. They cannot score on the Carolina Hurricanes.
I'll look at that right now.
I think those numbers are accurate. They've been talking about it all game.
They are accurate. They only had 1 goal in the regular season.
Hey, and keep in mind that goaltender for Carolina. That's a rookie goaltender. And you can't get a goal against him.
He just came in. So
I know, but
calm down, Dylan.
Hey, man, I'm going to talk my shit.
It's a bold take.
I can only see Boston winning. I can only see Boston winning 1 game. That's the most.
Yeah, I saw him winning the series, but I'm starting to. Okay. Let me say this: if I knew that fact was a fact, I would have shied away from what I thought previously. I did not think about that.
Listen, you work with a lot of people. There's a lot of people talking on Boston against Carolina.
What do you got, Jesse?
I said, counting the game they're playing right now, Carolina has scored 25 goals against the Bruins, and the Bruins have scored 3 in the last 4 times they've played.
Yeah. That's problematic.
Oh, I forgot that they beat them.
2 of those goals are in playoffs.
That means every game, Carolina's scoring 5 goals against Boston.
How do you only get 1 goal in regular season against a team?
Yeah, then there was that 9-goal game, I think, in regular season.
Because they played them twice, and it was the first game was 6-1, I want to say.
Nah. First game was 3-0. Game 2 was 7-1. Game 3 was 6-0.
Oh, so they played 5.
Yeah, they've been murking them all year. So just for a quick update for everybody that's wondering, they're right there. You'll see Dylan's bracket where the Canes are ultimately winning the Stanley Cup.
Yes,
so that
sir.
was good for Dylan so far. Jesse's bracket also has the Canes winning the Stanley Cup, so it looks good for Jesse as well. Luke has the Lightning winning, also has the Hurricanes at least advancing to the conference championship. Hurricanes are looking good and Lightning are battling back. Panthers not looking as good, but looking solid everywhere else. Stars still have a chance. It's going to be an interesting series. And finally, mine, where I have the Panthers winning it all and the Wild making it actually a lot farther than a lot of people think. And it looks like my bracket is going to be a big pile of shit so far. So, I said it wasn't the bracket people
you said
wanted.
you
It
had a
was
wild
bracket
one.
people needed. But this right here looks like a big pile of fucking dog shit. This is not going to happen. Rangers, dog shit. Leafs, going to blow it.
I'm
Panthers,
not gonna lie.
Avs. The Avs might be the only one I get right, and then they're going to fucking win against the Wild or the Blues, and it's going to be wrong. So it is what it is. I don't care. With that being said, that's all we have for today's episode of today's Ride the Tide Sports
That's it.
Podcast. If
Not
anybody's
too much.
got anything else.
Yeah, not too much.
No, not too much. Just a
I
little bit of
want to
everything.
talk about one thing. Who the hell was the home plate umpire in the goddamn sorry, give me 6 seconds.
Putting it all together. Oh man.
Not close.
Wow.
It's 0-3.
I'll be honest, Chip, I don't know if he saw a strike.
These ups, man.
Oh, that's what we were talking about? I thought we were going to talk about the umpire that ejected Madison Bumgarner after one batter today. And then Bumgarner needed 7 of his teammates from the Diamondbacks to hold him back because he was trying to beat the shit out of the umpire.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
What?
So today. So Madison Bumgarner was ejected today because after one batter, the umpire came up to him and was grabbing his hand and checking it for foreign substances. I mean, I keep saying one batter. 1 inning. It was only 1 inning. He went 1, 2, 3. And then the batter was checking his hand for foreign substances. He had nothing on his hand. He was completely fine. And Bumgarner was just a little pissed off by that. It was basically just like, it didn't need to be happen. Like, you didn't need to fucking do that, bro. Like, he was pissed off. And he needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his teammates to hold him back against the umpire. And it ultimately resulted in a whole big conundrum. And I have it on my phone here.
Okay, wait. Did you just fuck up the story? Did he get ejected and then
No.
He got
ejected after.
And then he got ejected.
Because he went
so
crazy on him. Like,
so
I
if he
didn't
just
do anything.
didn't go crazy, he would have stayed in the game.
Correct.
Fuck it. Play with passion.
I can't believe you're just showing me a video on your phone.
Watch this.
A little more to your right, my friend.
Right there.
Yeah, tell him how you feel. Tell him how you feel.
Umpire that tossed him out. That's the first base umpire, right? Dan
Punch him in the face.
And I think he threw him out. The first base umpire is the one who threw him out. The home plate umpire, Bumgarner, had a couple words with him after the TN.
All right, so I'm starting to just wonder, like, what the fuck he said. Like, what did he say
Oh, the fuck you.
to Bumgarner? He's probably like, yeah, Bumgarner, come on, we all know you ain't that good anymore. What the hell? I gotta check you.
His ERA, he's third in the majors right now, and everyone's probably just confused. He's like, bro, come on now. Your ERA was.
We all know you don't got it. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
He threw a fucking 7-inning perfect game last year, so maybe Bumgarner just still is kind of good.
Like, it's the D-backs. Why are you watching the D-backs so fucking hard? We're probably not going to make it that fucking
Let
far.
him have something. Let
But
the Diamondbacks
listen
get something
here.
to do.
We still might make it that far because we're fucking sick. We got fucking Bumgarner.
Okay, I'm not gonna entertain that
Please,
rant
I
of
was waiting for him to go, we got Seth Booth.
despicable Arizona Diamondbacks rant. I don't think anyone needs that.
Yeah,
We got Seth Beer, too.
What'd I fucking say?
I support that guy. I think that guy's sick, but
Ace up the sleeve.
a Diamondbacks rant is unnecessary. A beer rant is different. I support beer.
Nah, Diamondbacks are always necessary.
No, I support Ketel Marte, and that is it from that squad.
With that being said, we're gonna get the fuck out of here because
Yeah.
I'm tired and Luke is tired and Jesse's tired and Dylan's never tired, but he's
I'm never tired.
So with that being said, peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. We will see you guys this weekend on Saturday to talk about the fights coming up on that night. I know we already talked about them, but we're going to go deep dive, get into that, talk about other news. We'll talk to you guys on Saturday. Sixpackcoverage.com for all the news, sports, fitness, health, finance, all the above. Sixpackcoverage.com. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.